All right, guys, we're back with two of the best players on the planet. None other than TB12, Trevor Brooks, and two-time former world champ, Jamie Graham. What's up, fellas? First of all, I appreciate y'all being on here with us, man.
What's going on, man?
Oh, man, just chilling, man. Excited, man. Congratulations on becoming a pro, man. What you think? You excited?
Man, I'm really excited. I think I deserve it, but yeah, the ACL hooked me up, and I got lucky right at the end. Sean, I guess he had some personal reasons he had to back out, and luck of the draw.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, ain't no luck. You should have been a pro. You deserve it. Like you a baller. You right there.
I feel that too, man. I feel that.
You the man, Bruce.
And Jamie, man, congratulations, man. Big national or open win over the weekend, man. I know that's a long one. You've been wanting that one for a while.
Oh yeah.
But congrats on that, man.
Appreciate
He's
it.
trying to get better. Trying to get a little better.
Oh man. All right, Trevor, I want to start with you, man. Give me a little history before cornhole, man. What was Trevor Brooks running? Like, where you from? What'd you do before cornhole?
Before cornhole, I played soccer for a few years. I played some in high school. I played some golf. Got pretty good at golf at one time, but started popping out children. So I had to. I mean, my competitive nature in me, I had to be at home, but I had to find a game that I could play. So I picked up cornhole just so I could stay at home, with kids. But that's really how it worked out for me. Sports-wise, mostly golf and soccer, and a little boxing.
Little boxing. What kind of boxing, man?
I mean, we street fought when we was younger. We come up from real humble beginnings.
Oh yeah.
That we grew up around a lot of roughnecks. But boxing wise, I mean, I've boxed in tough men and stuff like that, but never no organized sports. Just most of it was backyard.
Right. Well, you don't see many tough mans no more. You know what I mean? So I mean, that's
one of them a year, but not too much.
right. I feel you, man. That's awesome. Rooster, what'd you have, man? My bad.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, Trevor's just competitive. He's just competitive son of a bitch. If there's a game, sport, he's just ready to go. I feel like I felt that one of the first times I ever met him. Trevor, I don't know if you remember the first time I met you was at a cornhole tournament in South Carolina. Have you ever played a cornhole tournament in a cornbread festival?
How do I get mine? Was it in like Aiken or Gaffney or something like that?
It would have been closer to Columbia. So it was either at this cornbread festival. If you weren't at the cornbread festival, it was at some other festival. And I feel like Scott Lane and Chris Kusha, is that his name, from Florida?
Yep.
Them guys, they were down there. Do you happen to remember this tournament?
I put in my email address. I don't recall. Maybe profile. I played a lot of tournaments with Chris and Scott along the years. Not that I can think of in the Columbia area.
Okay, yeah. So I couldn't tell you exactly where it was at. I just know there was a doubles and a singles, and I was playing Matt West, and that's the first time I met you. And I remember telling Matt West, "This guy's gonna be a son of a bitch. he's gonna be a damn handful."
Yeah. Hopefully I'm living up to your beliefs, man.
No question.
So Trevor, just to stay with you just a minute, who kind of got you rolling in the tournament scene? Like, I know Steve Bailey. Shout out Steve Bailey. Used to be a big, supporter in Greenwood back when we was rolling a little bit. Him and Karen always did great things for the sport down that way. So who kind of got you rolling? I think I know, but I'm gonna let you tell
it. Steve Bailey was definitely. He come a little later, and after I started playing cornhole, I noticed that he was one of the best players around the area. So I would try to link up with them as I got better. But the first person that ever really introduced me to cornhole was one of my bowling buddies and some family friends was Jamie Crawford. He's the first person that introduced me
exactly
playing blind draws and stuff like that. So and me and him was partners early on. He definitely was the first person.
Oh, he's the OG, man. A Greenwood for sure, man. Shout out to Jamie, man. I love me some Jamie, man. It's been a while since I've seen him.
I attribute Jamie Crawford for Trevor Brooks too. 100%.
Oh yeah. And just to kind of be a little shorter, so we can get with Jamie too. But just the evolution of the upstate, man. Shout out to all the little crews down there that's doing big things, and y'all pumping out players, man.
Yeah, I'm actually at a blind draw at Emerald City Cornhole right now, where I was born and raised. They started a cornhole club, and man, they always have good turnout.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah, holler.
City Cornhole.
Shout out, y'all.
Trey Plower, right? Isn't that Trey? Trey doing big things,
Cornhole.
right?
Man, they putting on tournaments every week. Blind draws every Monday and Wednesday. Every Monday and Wednesday they have blind draws, and they have good competition up here. Usually average about 20 teams, and they've only been doing it 2 years. So, and you got a Upstate Cornhole and Assassin's Cornhole up in the Duncan and Spartanburg area. They all of them. Carolina's in good shape, and they get better. Carolina's always been at the top of cornhole, but the local town is different. And some people rising to the cream of the crop. There's kids that can play out here, man, and they're getting better, especially this one right here. Be on the lookout. Love them in the future.
Oh yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting him in Asheville, man. I got to kick it with him a little bit, man. He's got his head on his shoulders, man. He's a good dude, man. I can tell his vibe right from the get go. You know what I mean? But I feel you. Hey, but that's a perfect segue to get to Jamie, man. Talking about how tough the Carolinas and stuff. Jamie, we ain't gonna touch much on it, because it's a different organization. But what did it feel like to get that first singles title, man? I know you had wanted it for a long time, and to come away with that. What was it, Knoxville? You got it?
No, not Knoxville. I think it was Alabama.
Alabama, you got that first one, the King of Cornhole. Yep. What year was that?
Oh, you're talking about the KOC.
Yeah.
That was in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Owensboro, Kentucky. And that was what, 17?
I think so.
17. All right, give me what was your story, man, coming up kind of before cornhole? Give us a little insight of, coming up, Jamie Graham, where you from and everything like that.
Born and raised from Hamlet, North Carolina. It's a small town, about 5 stoplights. But I grew up playing sports. I was very competitive. My dad coached me probably half my life in baseball. Always played every sport but football. I wanted to play football, but in rec, you couldn't play football if you was a certain weight limit. And I was always bigger than all the other kids, and they wouldn't let me play. But played soccer, basketball, baseball. But baseball was a true passion for me, and I really enjoyed it. So I played it. Had a lot of travel ball every weekend. When I finished baseball my 9th grade year, I got away from it. Took a different path in the cornhole. I watched cornhole on YouTube a lot. And me and my brother, that's where we got into cornhole. We was at a family reunion and with some boards out there. And we picked it up, but it definitely took me a while to kind of put a flat bag. But like I said, I spent a lot of hours on YouTube watching a bunch of cornhole players, Matt Guy, even watched Rooster back in the day play Duck. And
Yeah.
And
shout out Duck. Yeah.
It really that's when the journey of wanting to be one of the best cornhole players to ever play. And so got into cornhole, small little tournaments with the North Carolina, like Tyler Poitras, Frank, Avery's, and that's really where it all started for me, though.
I mean, you're talking about the best on that side of the state, man. If you mentioned M5 Frank, shout out Frank. He's a true OG, been in the game and still competing at the high level, and still right there at the top. I mean, I think the world of Frank. He's straight up good dude. And then you got the Averys, like you said. That's 3 of them that can all slap throw. And then shout out T-Port, man. I should have introduced y'all 2 of the big 3. No doubt. I hope
I was going
Tyler
to jump in there and say that, but I didn't want to interrupt your introduction. Yeah, this is the big 3. These guys helped lit a fire under cornhole a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
I don't think a lot of people were happy with these young guns coming in. saying, "Oh, we're the big three." It's like, well, what the hell they do? They're not the big three. It's like, so they lit a little fire under everybody. I liked it. I like
Shout out
attitude.
to Trent Gordo, man. You know, he used to give y'all hell, call us the Big
Yes.
100. Rest in peace to Trent, though. You know, yeah,
R.I.P.
for sure. Rest in peace to Trent. He used to just like to get under y'all skin, I think, because y'all was the best in the country. And, you know, we always took pride in our gas house shit, man. You know we have. And that's one thing I was going to say about Trevor, man. Two things really stick out to me about him coming up through the years. One was, I don't know if y'all remember the Slider Cup in Kenansville back in the day, and that was when everybody was under one roof. It's like 400 of the best in there.
Yeah.
And we end up getting a win. Me and Eric Ryder, Derek Hollins, Shook, and Roger Wright. And in the picture, me and Eric was high-fiving, and Trevor was in the background, you know, clapping for us and stuff, man. And that made me have a lot of respect for him because we had just battled y'all to win that thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people would be upset at that point and shit like that, but he had enough respect to, you know, put his beer down. You know, you don't get Trevor put his beer down for much. So he had both hands clapping. And then the next time, Trevor, and I know you remember this, we're at Myrtle Beach CCL Finals. You come up, you said, I know you ain't pulling for me. You pulling for your boy Duncan, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to his ass. but I respected that. You know what I mean? I mean, you knew I support my area and I always have, man. I've been, you know what I mean? The ones that we come up with and shit like that. But you had that swagger and that, you know, and you got to have that want to win. So that's two things that really stood out to me over the years. And Jamie, man, I don't know. I think I'm really responsible for you being the best player on the damn planet. And we talked about it, man.
I want to hear this story. Go ahead, go.
We talked about it in Asheville a little bit. You didn't hardly remember it, but I'd had a few too many fireballs or whatever one night at Bacon. Shout out Ron Grant running Bacon. And Jamie was just getting in the game. He had probably just turned 16. So he hadn't won a whole lot yet, you know, and he come down telling me he was the best thing. He was going to be the best. I mean, I'm like, man, you ain't shit. You ain't never going to be shit. You ain't never won shit.
Right, get out
I mean, you know what I mean? He won the blind draw that night. So, I mean, and then come back and, I mean, I was just the ass to him, man. And then 2 months later, we squashed it. He knew I was drinking a little too much. And
yeah, because you're OG too, though. You know what I'm saying? You're OG. You gonna check the young boys that come in and think they can ball.
I mean, you know what I mean? My area's been stout for years, man. So, I mean, I pump it up. You know what I mean?
Right, well,
I mean,
it's also the spirit of the competition. It's like we're representing Gas House, which is, you know, this whole area right here, and he's coming from a whole different part of the Carolinas. It's like, no, we are the best in the Carolinas.
right.
We all ain't the best in the Carolinas. You know what I mean?
But I lit that fire under his ass that night, man. And he was still cool enough, man. And a couple months later, I apologized to him. We squashed it. And then we end up sharing a room with like 8 of us in in the hood somewhere in Goldsboro or something for the state championship. Jamie it done stole the damn bed and all kind of stuff, man. We had some fun, man. But that's why I say I think I might have caused him because I give him hell. I told him he wasn't shit, he'd never be shit, he'd never win shit. And it wasn't long when he's the best damn player on the planet. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. I'm gonna be real. You got future GOAT talk, man. I mean, you know what I mean? And you can be right back here. You know, you went through that bag switch or whatever. But I mean, at one time, man, they wasn't nobody touching your ass.
They said I'm not thinking fixed or not.
I still got a lot more to prove to be considered GOAT talk.
Right, you should always feel that way for sure.
Yeah, I'm never satisfied. I'm definitely not satisfied right now, but it was still good to come into the ACL and kind of get the first win. I mean, it was crazy how it happened. The whole year really went my way, even during COVID, but I still found a way to battle, even though we got 2 nationals canceled and won the world championship. I mean, it was a great feeling knowing all the work I put in, but been slacking with practicing, but about to get back on that train again, start throwing a lot.
Not only did you win the world championship, you swept the year. I mean, you was #1 in the country. You won Man of the Year. You won. I mean, your year's gonna go down in one, in history as one of the best ever. I mean, you
All
know
right,
what I
so
mean?
I
And
was gonna say, go ahead.
oh my bad, Richard. Nah, man, it's on you. Go ahead, jump in there.
Well, I was just gonna have a separate I was gonna go on a separate path. So you
Go
finish your
ahead, go. Hey, just last thing, man, with Jamie, and then I'm gonna let Rooster have both of y'all, and I ain't no telling what's gonna get to you. What's it like having Kaylee as a practice partner, like a sparring partner? We was talking about boxing earlier, but I mean, shout out to that whole family, man. I think the world of her mom and daddy, and brothers and stuff. They all just great people, man. I know that's got to be a blessing. Have somebody you can spend time with and travel with and practice with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So.
It's definitely way better than when I first came up. I mean, I was practicing by myself every day,
Yeah.
and it would get boring. And but now, I mean, we practice. Now we're gonna be throwing about 1,000 bags a day each. Really put because I mean I'm doing this for a living. This is paying my bills, and I haven't been taking it like that. Like I should be treating it like a job. I mean, not a legit 8 hour a day, but I mean, putting a lot of work in every single day because at the end of the day, as much talent as in this game, I mean, you can literally throw a 11, almost a perfect game and sometimes still lose. And it's crazy to think like that, but I mean, everybody's talented. I mean, you go to an open and you can't say who's going to win. You don't know. I mean,
It's about impossible.
sometimes you can put a top 20 list in, but to really pick out the winner, everybody's too talented. I mean, I don't see how nobody's ever going to go a whole year and not lose. It's not. I can't see it. Everybody's too talented now.
and
But
that's the beauty of the game.
right. But I can say is the people that do put work in, you can tell because even if they're not winning, for example, Matt has the best finishes right now through the whole season with, even though he hasn't won, I don't know. I know he's won one open for sure, but everybody's talking about him getting second, but second's better than fifth in your bracket, seventh in your bracket. Like, so I mean, all the players that's constantly finishing really high, you can tell that they're obviously putting work in. They might not win every time, but they're there. You see them, and I mean, they're kind of unstoppable in a way because I mean, Matt's PPR is ridiculous of how good he's shooting.
Oh, he's a goat, ain't no doubt. I mean, and he's on another level this year. I mean, he's not finishing yet, but it'll come, I believe. I mean, it's unreal what he's doing. Rooster, have at him, man. You got them both. Fire off.
All right, y'all. So I got a couple random questions for y'all. So the first one I got for both of y'all. Go back, think about this. Who was your first signature win? Who was the first person you beat when you were like, oh shit, I think I got this? Like it put you on the map, maybe in the eyes of other, not necessarily a tournament win, but somebody that you beat and you're like, oh damn, like I got this. I'm for real.
Like singles win or
I would
double?
go singles win. That's what I would prefer. That's what
Uh,
I was thinking when I was asking the question.
Mine was this was at the time frame of me practicing every day for a year to be one of the best, and I went to Virginia Beach, my first ever major.
What
Um,
year?
uh, it was when you couldn't win if you lost, when the rules changed, or in a major, if you lost in the main bracket, you could best get third.
I remember them rules. Rooster, you went through that a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah,
You know,
like so well, Jamie's start was like his come up was right about my come down, you know what I mean? So like I don't have a beginning story with him like I do Trevor. So I feel like we played at different times, so to speak. We crossed one time and he like stomped on me pretty hard. I don't know what that tournament was, but I didn't hit double digits. I might have got 8 though.
I hear
Got
you.
8 though. But anyway, yeah, so I would feel like based off of what he's saying, it would have to be maybe 16, 17.
It was I won in 16 or 17, and it wasn't the year before. It had to be 2 years before I won when that happened. But anyways, in Virginia Beach, first tournament, first major, seeing every like Matt guy in person for the first time. I watched a bunch of people on YouTube, especially him, and I had to play him to go to the finals. So if you lose, you can't win, but if you win, you're automatically in the championship. I
Right.
remember having him 10-0 and being the most nervous I've probably ever been in my life. And I remember turning around and everybody's over here watching, but North Carolina people knew me, but I've been out of the scene for a while because I wanted to practice on my own, not go to any tournaments. So I had him 10-0, and the final score was he beat me 21-11. He just had the he's been there. I haven't, so I couldn't play through the nerves, but just after the tournament, everybody came up to me and was like, yo, where you been? Have you been practicing? And I was like, yeah, for a whole year. And I remember Dickie Adams and Leslie, I can't remember which one, but one of them was like,
Shout
dude,
out Dickie.
Yeah, Dickie and Leslie, and damn Greg Stanley too. I loved all of them. That's
Go ahead.
OGs right there, all of them right there. Shout out to all of them.
yeah,
Yeah, what were you gonna say? So yeah, you were talking to all them.
yeah, and I mean, they were just talking about like how great I was throwing, and I can't remember who said it, but they were just talking about how if I keep that up, I'm going to be one of the best. And like Tyler, talked to Tyler too, but that's basically where my first tournament where I knew I had the talent to compete at the best. It was just going to take more tournaments, getting used to the competition and playing in that feeling of being nervous and basically just like that. So definitely that major.
That's a big one, yeah. And you had to, to get to that point to play Mac Guy, you had to beat some people that obviously aren't as significant as playing Mac Guy at that time. But Mac Guy did Mac Guy things, it sounds like, because I've seen him come back from so much crap, man. That's what he does. But yeah, that's great. That's a good one.
Stacia Pugh is who I beat that tournament. I forgot. Stacia Pugh was when she was on her game, and I beat her.
She was top 10 in the country. I would put her. Wouldn't y'all
Right.
say something like
Oh, yeah.
that? Top 10ish. I mean, something like that.
She'll checkmate your ass right now, though. All right, Trevor, what you got?
My first game that really made me believe that I was, a good player, elite player.
Like first signature win, first signature game that you're like, oh yeah, this is for real. I'm a top player. I know I am.
I feel like my first game that really turned my head on was a loss. Really, though. I won my second major I ever played in. Was in Foley. It was in somewhere south in Alabama. And
Holy, maybe.
Foley, no, it was in
And you won in Florida, I thought.
Florida. Yeah, I remember my first ever major. I played in Peachtree City, Georgia, and I had played like 2 regionals before then. And other than that, I've only been playing for like 6 months. I thought I was pretty good because I started winning blind draws and stuff like that around the house. But they talked me into going to Peachtree City, Georgia. And it's like, you get to go play in the opens, you get to play with some really good players. And I thought, okay, well, we'll see if I can beat people around the neighborhood, then I can go beat people down that lives an hour and a half away. And hell, we went down there and there was people wearing jerseys and all kind of shit. And I mean, that was the first kind of, I was fresh, I was brand new to the game when I went to my first major. I was only like 3 months in, and they took me down there. And hell, I went through the qualifying, and hell, Kyle Malone beat me like 21-7. And later I found out that he was one of the best pros in the world. I didn't even know who he was. I was asking, like, who the hell was this cat that whooped my ass? And, it was Kyle Malone. And hell, we had a 3.5 hour ride home, and I was like, you know what? I'm either going to practice my ass off for the next month and go to another major and see how I do. I'm going to fucking not play this game. I'm not going to drive 3 hours and get my ass whooped and spend all this money. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it went for me. And I practiced hard as hell for a month straight, and I went back down to Florida and at the Peachtree City, Georgia, and I won that major. That was only the second major I'd ever played in because I took 4 weeks to really just work my ass off and practice like 3-4 hours a day. Because that loss is really what switched the gear for me. It was like, hey, I'm either going to be competitive or I'm not going to play at all, because I'm not going to sit here and go to tournaments and get my ass kicked all the time.
See, at first I thought you said you were going to say you went down to Florida and knocked on Kyle Malone's door and was like, all right, I'm ready for that rematch. Because I feel like that's something you would do is be like, all right, let's get this on right now. I've been practicing. I'm ready.
You can, just so I know this is the truth, you can quote me on this. The first thing that I did when I walked in that building in Florida after Peachtree City, Georgia, was challenge Kyle Malone right after every game.
I believe that. I believe that. Because you thought about him for a month straight.
Yeah. My words, that's the first thing that I did. Him and his mother was both standing there. I said, Kyle, let's play an airmail game. Right before the singles tournament started, and I busted his ass, and I won the singles tournament.
Hey, shout out Kyle Malone. He's
yeah,
great.
for sure. Hey, he's been a big supporter. Yeah, he's been a supporter of Gas House over the years. He still wears one of them
I remember when he used to
Gas Mask jerseys.
Yeah, he's the one that lit the fire. He busted my ass and lit the fire.
All right, let me give you one more question before we get out of here. Or, well, not before we get out of here, before Heath leads us to whatever's next. I got one more. Considering it's Valentine's and the Valentine's month right now, who, in your opinion, all time, and Big Three excluded, is your favorite duo? I'm not talking about the best duo, not the best partners of all time. Like, who, in your opinion, was like, man, those two just complement each other. I love watching them play.
Just my sole two favorite, not meaning they're the best. Two favorites.
Yeah, not necessarily the best. It's like, so taking it back to the WWF days, I was a fan of the Rockers. Rockers weren't going to do nothing. They weren't going to beat Demolition or any of them guys. But
you going way before their time.
Oh, I know. I'm going way back. This is before Shawn Michaels broke out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I was a big Rockers fan, but they ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? But that was a good team that complemented each other. It's like my answer to this question, like, I love Jay Dotson and Brandon Hill. Or Brandon Hill and Cody. I like Brandon Hill, I think. Shout out Brandon Hill.
I do too, man. Yeah.
Like he's fun to watch, and I like him with both those guys. So that's one of my favorite duos. That's a trio.
Did either one of y'all get to battle Brandon Hill? Was y'all around when he was around?
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, man. That was about 2 years before my time when they was winning the world championship and team of the year, man. I watched some videos religiously when I started practicing, but no, I never got to play against him. But I've talked to him some over the years. I mean,
Cody Cody and Brandon Hill, I think, drove all night to Greenwood and won the damn tournament. I want to say I'm pretty sure it's Cody and Brandon Hill. Me and Shane was in it. We finished third or fourth. I think Crystal and Hans
finished second, I think.
Y'all finished second,
They beat me and Danny. Yeah, I remember that one.
Crystal and Hans finished third. I think they beat us to maybe or y'all might have beat us somebody. But they come into Greenwood. That was before your time though. But Bailey did one in a gym somewhere. It was nice.
Yeah, LaBelle
school. I actually went to that school. It was Northside Middle. They did it in the gymnasium.
Okay.
Yep, that was what, 10 or 11?
Yeah, I would say 10 or 11, something like that.
It's been a minute, no doubt.
It all blends together a couple years ago. All right, so who's got the best chemistry? We'll say it like that. Who's got the best chemistry as a team? If you got an answer, if you don't got one, I mean, obviously the Big Three's chemistry is top notch. So you guys are contenders for that answer, but y'all can't show that nepotism.
Yeah. My first, I love. I mean, a lot of people might take this as a shot, but like these boys have my respect. I mean, when I battle against these guys, man, I mean, it's down to the wire every time, and it's Adam Isner and Cody Henderson. These boys are. I love to watch them play. I mean, we have similar styles, and I take interest in how they play the game because it's just not like anybody else. When they might go to a tournament and finish 40th and go on home and you've never seen them all weekend and never heard a word from them, but when they're on and they're winning, they put on a fucking fireworks show, man. Excuse my language.
Oh yeah,
no doubt. Shout out OGs. Yeah, that's. I mean, I got respect for both of them,
man. They talk. They're competitive. It's like I like that fire.
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't really had a whole lot of time to think about it, but I mean,
that's all right.
Some OGs that I think that could still be competing today if they play together was probably Christine Patsy and Stacia Pugh.
Yo, you're reading my mind. I was gonna throw them in there after Jamie answered to see if I had if anybody had mentioned them. You 100% right. That's it.
Dude,
That's them.
Going back to my first ever major, the Peachtree City, Georgia. That was my first ever major that I played in, and that's the major they won. So I was looking at Matt Guy and all these guys for the first time, and these girls won the whole entire tournament. I was like, who the hell are these guys?
Yep. You watch them and you're like, oh man, I can take them. And then next thing you know, you're down 20-10. It's like, oh shoot.
Them girls can play.
All right, Jamie, what you got?
Those really just, if they were streaming those kind of matches like they are now, like you can watch everybody play now, but you had to see that stuff live in person.
Oh yeah, no, they're great. I love watching them. I hope they come back one day.
Most definitely. Christine's still doing her thing.
All right, Jamie, what you got?
I'll probably go the same direction Trevor did. I've watched Adam and Cody a lot, and they reminded me of me and Trevor in a similar way of chemistry. They like, if they're off, sometimes that chemistry can win their games, and that's how me and Trevor were very talented, but sometimes when you're off on your B game, the chemistry pops in and can win you some games. But Adam and Cody for sure when it comes to chemistry. I always liked Langworthy and Modlin. I don't know why I like Frank and I like Langworthy, but I just like the way they play together. I watched them back in the ACO days, and they even got themselves a world championship. And Langworthy's got him a singles title in the ACL. But I would have to think a lot to think about more. But
yeah, I know it's hard to put you on the spot, but that's half the fun. Seeing what pops into the mind first. And I'll throw another one out there is I like James Baldwin and Alan Rockwell, Rocky, R.I.P.
Yeah. Once again, for sure. Rest in peace to Rocky.
I mean, that team was a great team. They played a lot. Me and Matt West used to play them a lot.
Yeah.
We go back and forth. We're probably 500 with each other.
Winning every damn state in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably some of the nicest people in the game is Damon Dennis and Philip Hayden.
That's
solid too. Solid too. I mean, really good. Slick side, ride it out.
I love those guys. Yeah, I always have a good time hanging out with them.
Now the funniest doubles. They got chemistry obviously, but just to watch them play is funny as the Vanderveers, Jen and Steve, because Jen would cut Steve out in a split second.
OG's there too. I mean, now Steve and Dale has to be in that conversation, man. Y'all missed them a little bit. It was more
the traveling Wildeberries,
yeah, or whatever the hell they called it. But it was more kind of Lester and Dale back when y'all was coming in, I think. Because Steve and Dale kind of split up a little bit, and his with Jen by that point. But shout out to all them. That's some true OGs right there. But y'all talking about Cody and Adam. One of the most controversial damn games of history has to be where damn Adam grabbed the bags. Trevor Trevor takes off running like he's damn crazy, about to go jump in Jamie's arms or some shit. And damn, what was that like to go through that? I mean, either one of y'all can answer it. I'd love to hear both of you's point of view about that. But that just had to be a big moment. What was that? ESPN 3 or 2 or?
I think that was on ESPN 3.
3.
Ordered for ESPN 2, but I think our answer.
That was a little early. That was early in the time for sure. But that's got to be one of the most controversial games. You know what I mean? And Cody was pissed, son. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Cody was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so McKinnon, he can break it down step by step of what should have happened. And so, like, what got me is I think Adam knew he messed up, and he started looking to blame other things of why he messed up instead of taking responsibility and just saying, I touched the bags. But in that, it all happened in a split second. I can remember everything. I remember Trevor throwing the bag off the back. Cody kept trying to board just to save and not give up a lot of points. And I remember Trevor hitting the airmail, and in a video it shows Trevor hits the airmail. He steps across the line, very pumped, but Adam's not looking at Trevor. Adam's looking down at the board. As soon as Trevor hits that, Adam's reaching. Me and Adam go at the board almost at the exact same time, except I knew Cody had a bag. I was reaching behind the board to get the bag that Trevor threw off because it was raining. I was gonna grab the bag, squeeze it out, and not let it just sit there and soak on the whatever we were playing on, turf or whatever. But as soon as he did it, his first response was, "You touched the bag too," and I said, "You're right, I did, but I touched it. It was off the board. That's legal. What you did was a rule break." And I remember we all got in a group and Cody's like screaming, like, "You want to win like this?" I'm like, I mean, it's the rules, bro. Like, I can't help that your partner touched the bag. And the whole crowd, man, everybody was so against me and Trevor just because of like how we played and how Trevor played. So like everybody's
Big
first
three.
Blame it on Trevor.
Big three.
everybody's first
Oh,
everybody's
Trevor.
first response was, but Trevor crossed the line. Trevor crossed the line. Nobody's really looking at the big fault. And if you look in the rules are if you already took a timeout and you take a legal timeout, the bag that you have in your hand is gone. But Trevor had no more bags left. So that rule was crossed. So Adam's rule would be 12 minus what they have in the hole. Well, Cody has a bag in his hand. He has 3 on the board. So that would be 12 minus 0, which is 12. And the thing that didn't make no sense is even they were trying to make the best outcome possible to not make anybody mad, but we got screwed so much harder. So they took the bags off the board and let Cody throw his last bag. So not only we should have got 12 points, but Cody had 3 in a line on the board. So you can't slot it. You have to airmail it to make that bag.
Oh yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
guess they decided, let's take all the bags off the board, give Cody his last bag to throw, and we'll do R9 minus whatever Cody does. He slides it in the hole. So they took the bags off the board, but still counted that as 3 points. Plus Cody's in the hole, which is 6. So we end up getting 3. That right there is still to this day arguable of why does that happen? I mean, McCannon said Trey Ryder's commentating, and his first thing he says is, they just got 12 points. They just got 12 points. They just got 12 points. Like, how does it go from that to what happened? I'll never understand. And they can't, there's nothing they can
Justified.
say. There's nothing they can say to change my mind of knowing that we just got screwed.
Well, luckily that's all in the past, and but that was a big moment. And then I went back and actually watched it today on YouTube just to refresh, see what happened. Then I went back and watched the Spencers, and it seemed like Trevor's hitting a big shot at the end, and all hell breaks loose. But just talk about just a little bit, Trevor, about hitting that big shot at Spencers against Baldwin and Campbell. And what was it, $6,500? That your biggest payday, Trevor?
Probably not our biggest, but it was definitely up there. Definitely up there.
And hey, let me be clear. He only shot that shot because of me. Everybody in the crowd was saying, board it, board it, board it. And I was like, man, I want to see this dude hit this shot right here for $6,000. And I was like, I'm gonna tell him to go for it. I don't care if he misses or not. I want him to hit it. And I thought he could hit it because I mean he's been hitting airmails all game. But all right, go ahead, Trevor.
You play to win the game.
That's right. That's all it is to it.
I was actually hitting airmails on my own early because the boards were so sticky, and they pulled out a fresh, brand new set of bags for us to play in the finals. So they were just grabbing up, not going in the hole a whole lot. And so as the game went on, I felt like I was throwing good. Every round, I'd throw like a 7 or an 8, but all my bags were just stuffed in the hole and go in. And so I was getting little 2 pennies and little 3 pennies on Jordan all the way throughout the game. And I felt like we were throwing good, but I looked up at the score at one time. It was 15 or 15 or some shit. I'm like, damn, I felt like I was throwing good, you know what I'm saying? And we was right there neck and neck with him. He told me, he said, hit an airmail right here. This was 2 springs before the final. And he called on airmail. I took a timeout for this airmail, and I completely shanked it. I mean, I pulled it all the way to the left. Didn't even touch the board. And Rob was like, oh, that was not even close to what he was trying to do. After I looked back or some shit. And so really, when we got to the final round, he called on that airmail again. It was twice as tough a shot. It was a more closed-in hole. And I wasn't going to miss that shot twice. So I just got fired the fuck up. And I took a deep breath, and I smacked that shot. It's just emotion, everything, all kind of bullshit came out of me after that. I mean, after I miss a shot and hit the same shot back to back like that right there, I went off. I probably broke some rules, which I always do.
All Rob kept saying was, Trevor's cussing and he don't give a damn. I mean, so you got to be on your best behavior now. That pro status, man. I know it's.
That was shoot, hell, 5 years ago, probably.
Well, I know, but you still get fired up. And I know you in it to win it, baby. You ain't going on without a fight. That's for sure.
We don't pull up in place for sure.
That's it, man. And I respect that, man. I love it. I like. If you don't think you can win the thing when you get there, you might as well stay home.
Yeah, you got right. That's the way.
But give us some breaking news. So you and J Dot together, man?
Me and J Dot's now together. We talked a little bit over the last 2 weeks, but other than that, I hadn't spoken to him in 2 years. You know, we've been good friends for a long time, but since I took that break from cornhole, I hadn't really heard from him or seen from him. You know, in 2 or 3, we finally hit each other up, and said this opportunity came up to be partners for the year because Sean had to take a leave of absence, and it worked out perfect.
That's what I think too. I mean, besides Berkeley, I think y'all could add something special. Shout out to Berkeley. He looks like an up and comer player. I don't know a whole lot about, but what y'all gonna throw? What y'all gonna throw? Y'all talking about what y'all throwing? Or
We 100% gonna throw the fire incinerators in Vegas. I mean, he has been dabbling with some Reynolds bag typing, but he's not contractually, sponsored by anybody.
Right.
So he likes the fire bags. Jason went on ahead and sent him some whenever he found the news, and we gonna let him rip with the incinerators.
Nice. I like it, man. One thing about every video I watch, my bad, Rooster, I'll get right back with you. One thing about every video I watch y'all playing, you heard McKennan's ass in the background. Let's go, this and that. Shout out to McKenna, man, what he's done and what he's continuing to do, man. Excited for that whole fire team this season, man. Y'all got some big expectations, but I think y'all can finish with the best of them, too. Rooster, go ahead, brother.
No, I'm glad you said that about McCannon being loud in the background because my vote for loudest team is probably going to be Trevor and Dotson.
Oh, for sure.
They're yellers. We got some yellers on both ends of the boards there.
Who's second?
It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure.
Who's second is the question. Who's the second loudest?
Gee, yeah, right. That is a good question.
All right, boys. Y'all been on with me for a good bit, man, and I appreciate it. I got a little quick 4 I'm gonna do with y'all, man, and let y'all get off. Trevor, I'll start with you. Give me your Mount Rushmore cornhole. Top 4 players all time. Who you got?
Ooh, that's a good one. Matt got obviously number 1. I'm gonna say Jamie Graham for how he also. Jamie's definitely in my top 4. James Baldwin is in there.
I like that Baldwin in there.
And I'm gonna go with Frank Milan for longevity.
I like it. That's some good picks. Jamie, I'm gonna switch it up on you a little bit. Give me the top 4 states in the country.
All right, I'm gonna go with in order, or do you just name the top 4?
Give me number 1. We need number 1. Who's the best state in the country? You know how to put you on the spot, man.
I always want to say I think North Carolina is number 1.
Say it. You got it. This is a podcast to say it on.
That's right.
I'm gonna say North Carolina is number 1. Or we do conferences now because but all right. So I'll say North Carolina. Then
Come on and raise up.
Yeah, Petey Pablo. Shout out Petey Pablo.
I'll say NC, Kentucky, Florida,
Virginia,
and then Virginia.
I'm right on that. Mine's about the same. I'm right on that. Ohio, Virginia, because you got Birchfield and Hissner in Ohio. And then you lost Campbell in Virginia. He's in Florida now. So, it's a tough question, man. Ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
I'll say North Carolina, Kentucky, Ohio, and I'm going to say Virginia over Florida.
That's tough. There's some shooters in Virginia for sure. We've known them for years. But
And
All
I
right.
hope you're lighting some fires too to some of these states, like
Oh
Maryland.
yeah.
You could be the fire lighter to
Well,
somebody.
Illinois has got to be in the conversation with Reuben and Cedro and Windsor, and I mean,
Hey man,
they're
he gave his four.
They got a high school. True.
and they say they deep. A lot of them don't travel. You know, a lot like us, man. A lot of us didn't travel for years. But all right, getting on with that. Trevor, give me your captain's choice golf team from Cornell players. What three you taking with you to the golf course, Gus?
One guy I've played golf with actually. I would have to bring him back because he's a character, man. He is one of my favorite players and people.
Easy.
Yeah, Eric Zakaline. Tanner
Right.
Halbert played
Right.
me and him play golf together, but we got to sometime or another. Dawson Adams, he's a good player. He lives about 2 hours from me, and we've never played golf together. So that would be a fun foursome to have two characters and two ball strikers.
Dawson gonna be pretty straightforward. You know, he's part of us, man.
Yeah.
He's back playing. I love Dawson, man. Shout out to Dawson. All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Jamie. Jamie, give me your infield, man. If you're playing third base, who's playing short? Who's playing second? Who's playing first from cornhole players?
First base, I'm putting damn. I hate being put on the spot. If I really
You need a good target over there, man. Who's big? Who's tall? Who can think of it? You need a good target over there, and this athletic athlete. I'm thinking like Timmy Pitcher, man. He'd probably suck it up over there, left-handed.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna go with my boy Jason Tyson. He's athletic. He can play some ball too. He grew up playing baseball, basketball, football.
Oh yes, definitely. Shout out Big Truth. I love me some Big Truth, man. Bobby Hunt's a killer, boys.
Oh yeah. I put him on first. I got a shortstop. I don't even know if he played ball, but he's short. So I take Powers. Put Powers on. No, I put Powers. I put Powers on second. I put I would say Trevor, but he can't throw no baseball.
Hey, just give you a little hint, man. Y'all's boy was nasty. Didn't he play a little college ball?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put Poitras. I'm gonna put Poitras.
Yeah,
Was he what position Poitras play? Was he pitcher? I always thought he was a pitcher.
I think he was a pitcher and a shortstop.
middle
Okay.
infield. I've talked to him about playing a little softball a few times, but yeah, I figured you'd have to get T-Port. Now, where's your girl? Where's your girl playing? She pitching for y'all or what?
Yeah, I'll put her at the pitcher.
Put her at the pitcher. Ain't nobody getting no hit off of her. All right, Trevor. Give me the best team in the country right now besides the Fire Crew.
Doubles team.
Yep.
Best team in, other than Fire. That's a good question. I'm gonna rock with James Baldwin and Cheyenne Renner.
That's a good pick.
I'm gonna rock with that team. I think they're gonna give you consistent finishes at every national.
Man, I was in a fantasy draft tonight with Mark Isley. It got postponed. I had the 6th pick. I'm hoping Jamie falls to me, man. It's gonna be close. But that's $100 a head. It's shit serious, man. You know what I mean? I've been taking notes and all this shit, and we'll see how that goes. But it got postponed. I'll give y'all a little update on that. But all right, Jamie, give me the best co-ed team in the country besides Fire. That's a dope. I was about to say them.
Whoever Cheyenne decides to play with.
That's what I was about to say. That's kind of a dumb question because he went with Cheyenne and Baldwin. They're going to be a handful if they play co-ed, no doubt. Where'd y'all end up in co-ed last season?
We came very right there at it. I think we got third in our bracket or fifth or something like that. We lost to Tony Smith and Bella. They had us 20-5 when we came back 2019 and then lost. But no, we lost 21-20, but it was down 20-5 or 20-4. But I ain't gonna lie, this year's gonna be a whole different ball game. Um, I'm already ready for Worlds for co-ed just to prove a point that I think when me and Kaylee's on, we are the best co-ed team because we play double. I mean, we can beat some good doubles teams, not just co-ed, just regular doubles teams when we play regionals together. I mean, I think Kaylee's is a star in the making for the cornhole world. She has one of the flattest bags in the game for men and women, and her competitiveness, just like me, it could be it's at least with mine, and I know she wants to be the best, and so that's why we're putting this work in and putting 1,000 bags in a day because that's what it takes.
I like it, man. I like it. I think you're exactly right. I think she's right there at that, ready to make that next step to become an elite player. She definitely has one of the best bags in the game. It's smooth, man. It's the same, every time. It's smooth. Well, it looks like we lost Trevor a little bit, but Rooster, finish up with Jamie, man. And you got anything for him before we get out of here?
Oh no, I'm good. Yeah, man, you asked some great questions. I liked it. I liked it. He's got great answers. Very thoughtful.
Oh yeah, you've definitely. I had just a couple more things I was gonna get with you, and I hate we lost Trevor, man. Like I said, I
He's
appreciate
probably
him.
up in the blind draw. He's
Yeah,
got to play right
he
now.
probably had to play, and I don't blame. You got to get that work in, man. That
No
nationals coming up.
question. Every day.
But Jamie, has there been any talk about like a players association or players union, like because I know the ACL's bringing in a good bit of money now, and it's like I know the payouts are good, but at the same time, kind of there's got to be some kind of talks about some collective bargaining or whatever. I'm not the best at all that, but has there been any talks about any of that?
I think one time there was like a group chat, but I I got out of it like ASAP because I don't know, man. I'm not I I'm really not trying to be in none of that. I mean, what I feel like is I really do think Stacy and all them are doing the right thing, and they're doing a lot behind the scenes to grow this game to the next level. And I literally feel like in 5 years we're gonna be able to buy Lamborghinis. I'm very serious. Like,
You already picked you one out, man.
I mean, I know they work hard, and I know Stacy from the get-go, his whole goal was to make this the biggest thing ever, and he's done a really good job. I know everybody don't agree with everything, but it's also a business. I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's
Stacey has done it. I
yeah.
mean, he has.
And I feel like the sport has nothing to do but grow, and it's going to keep growing. The international thing is kicking in, and when that kicks in, that's going to be huge. The gambling, that's going to make it even bigger. But the association, I remember there was a group chat, but a lot of people left it. Like a lot of people didn't want nothing to do with it. But I remember leaving it as soon as I read what it was about. Just I don't want to be involved in something like that right now.
I totally respect that, man. And that wasn't really a shot at the ACL. Was more that y'all are getting y'all's money's worth. You are getting
Right.
compensated for what y'all are worth. And like you said, Stacy's done great things, man. I think he's seen where the game could go early, and like put his heart into it, and he's made it happen. Trey's been a big part of that. He's really known the game inside and out, and really took it to the next level also. So I mean, I see big things, man. But I think I see agents coming in here in the future. I see the collective bargaining. Kind of. I mean, there's going to be a lot of when the big money starts coming in. I think it'll be a lot of turnover, man. But last question, man, I got for you, and we're gonna let you go. And like I said, I appreciate you being with us, man. I know everybody's busy, especially with everybody getting ready. Are you in states this weekend?
Oh yeah, I'll be playing with Frank Marlin.
You and Frank, nice, nice. I may try to make it up. I'm still on the ropes a little bit. The boys back playing showcase. I already started showcase. Middle school's about to start, so we in the facility 4 days a week usually right now. But hopefully I can make it up this weekend. But all right, one bag, $1 million. Who's taking the shot?
$1 million. I'm not gonna say myself, so I'll
Oh,
say.
you gotta say yourself, man. Come on, man.
I don't. It's just like when you say the top four, I wasn't gonna put myself in it, even though I think. But I mean, I would say either me or Matt, because I mean, I'm always ready to be in that situation for that big shot. I'm never scared to. Like some people are scared to have the bags on their end at the start of the game. They'd rather their partner start it off just because they don't want to be the first person to give up points or give up a big round. But I really kind of live for that moment. Like I want them, and I want to be the responsibility of why we won that game or lost the game. And but I'll say me or Matt for $1 million shot.
If
Good
anybody's got
question.
an answer besides you or Matt, I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna look at it for sure. Because if it's not yourself, because I mean, I would want it in my hands. $1 million on the line, I want to be
I want
responsible.
the bags. I'm with JB.
Yeah.
Like when we play doubles, like I'm always thinking about that, man. Where the bag's gonna start because that's where I want to stand. I want to be exactly where it starts.
Oh
I
man.
remember when we play on TV, they had to count down. They tell us like 3 minutes till practice, and you can always tell who don't want the bags, how fast they throw. Like when you're warming up, they're like, you got 1 minute left. You can always tell who don't want the bags and who does want the bags. If you got 1 minute left and I have the bags in my hand, I'm going to throw them super fast so I know he can get them right back down here without
Right.
1 minute. But if you don't want it, you're going to go super slow and let it be like 20 seconds left. So they'll just call and say the opponent or my partner can have the bags first. But I've always been the one I want it all on me. I want
Oh
the bag.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to win it or lose it. That's
Yep.
on me. I want to win it or lose it. I don't want to leave it up to nobody else.
I think that's what it separates the greats from the good is I think all greats want that $1 million shot and they always want the bags in their hand. They want to shoot the game winning shot basically. And I've told Windsor, told several top players, I've always said big time players always hit the big time shots in big time situations.
And
Oh yeah.
and Trevor's one of them that's hit that big shot. You know, he's got that mentality. I hate he ain't here with us on that, but man, I look forward to what you can do this year. And I hope you still there at 6 on my fantasy draft. Honestly, if they dumb, you'll be there. But I know I'm a big fan, man, of what you've done over the years, and you know, from the start we had of, you know, me telling you wasn't shit, that you being the best player in the world, and you've always been cool. You know, right after that, I apologize to you, but I look forward to watching you, man. I'm ready to see you make that next step with the bags. Rooster, you got anything before we get out of here with it?
No, man, it's been a great time catching up, man. It was good seeing you in Nashville.
You too, buddy. I appreciate y'all letting me on here. Man, I've always been really good friends with Rooster and Heath. I remember I saw you in Nashville and talked to you, but I remember that what you were talking about earlier when we played in North Carolina at the major. Whenever I think you were just getting back into it a little bit. You wasn't playing very much cornhole when I was talking to you, but I've always watched you on YouTube back in the day. And Heath, I've been to his tournaments many times. I've always been a good friend to Heath. But I appreciate y'all let me come
I
on here.
appreciate that, man. I love hearing that. Respect.
Oh man, you and Trevor both, and shout out to Trevor. Y'all both supported all my tournaments over the years, man. Y'all. And one thing I hate we didn't get to talk about was the racetrack tournament, man. Remember when you and Trevor come up to the 600?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
man, you talking about good times. Now you might not even be 21 yet. You sneaking a little drinking, but
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
we can't start on the 600. Well, we need a whole nother show for the 600.
oh yeah, that Rooster was probably out there that day too.
I was
We
at 600. I can tell you that right now.
we have some of our best times. But Jamie, man, thanks again, man, and we definitely gonna be pulling for you, man, and hopefully you can come back and check in with us again sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, Heath. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir, man.
All
Hey,
right,
enjoyed
man.
it. Rooster,
Take it
man,
easy.
thank you again, man. We'll be back March 1st for episode 3.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You'll have to wait and see who the guest is. We got to see who's going to do good at National, who's not, what the big story is. But thanks to everybody for listening. If you want to get in touch with us, you can reach us on Facebook at OG's Cornhole Podcast, You can hit my email at gashousecornhole@yahoo. Just let us know, and we appreciate everybody listening. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.